Hey y'all, it's me, Mimi Siku, coming at you with a longer format video than normal today. And I wanted to talk to you about the theory that Huntress is actually a werewolf. First of all, I want to say that I am not a historian, but I have done my best to deliver the most accurate research I can muster. So I know there's been a long-standing desire to have more monster-like creatures in Dead by Daylight, and specifically people have been asking for a werewolf, among other things. Let's not forget about our animatronic friends out there. Of course, our FNAF fandom friends have been left yearning for a long time. But I am here to tell you that DBD may already have a werewolf in our favorite 6-foot hatchet-bearing behemoth babe who we affectionately nicknamed Hunty Mommy. I know this kind of material has already been hashed and theorized on before, but I want to dive into a somewhat deeper analysis of Miss Anna to prove once and for all Hunty Mommy is in fact a werewolf, or an Oberon variety as such. To start with, we know Huntress comes from the Red Forest, but we are never told exactly where that is, other than vaguely Russian area, as her lore specifies the downfall of the Russian Empire and the specific era of World War I playing a significant part in her story and eventual deliverance into the Dead by Daylight realms. But I theorize that Huntress is of Carillion descent. Karelia is an area near Finland that has a traumatic past of being a land wrought with war, as Finnish, Swedish, and Russian regimes wanted to take hold. Eventually, the land was divided up to a Finnish portion and a larger Russian portion, which is known today as the Republic of Karelia. Now, how does this fit into the aspect of Huntress's werewolf origins? Well, there is much intermingling in folklore and mythos surrounding Eastern Europe. The Karelia language itself is considered a dialect unto its own with Finnic and Russian influences, and the mythology of the werewolf is no different. In the 18th century, there was finally a semblance of peace within the Karelian region, but many had fled the oppressive requirements of religion or taxation, and this we can surmise is how little Anna, her father and mother, possibly her sibling, eventually ended up taking refuge in the Red Forest, as their elders escaped the confines of their altered lives, until one day only Anna remained. Now, within the Karelian region, there is a forest called Krasny Bor. Krasny is the Russian word for red. Bor means conifer forest. Earlier usage of the word Krasny had a closer meaning to handsome. Sadly, in the 1930s, Stalin ended up using this area as a killing field in which he committed genocide on the Karelian people, giving a darker meaning to the term red forest. But it is my position that these forests were Anna's home, and what she considered her territory. One of the northernmost points of the Eastern Front in World War I would have passed right through these areas, as the Russian and German armies volleyed for gains. And in Anna's lore, these soldiers met with an unexpected end, some possibly becoming dinner. Now, the devs nicknamed Anna Bear during her work in progress phase, and supposedly that is a hint at her otherworldly attributes, as the type of werewolf Anna is said to be is a Volkolak, or Bodark, but more about that later. The Oberon myth specifies that a person can become a wolf or even a bear at will using a ritual involving plunging a sharp metal weapon into a tree. And when becoming an animal, they will retain all of their human mental capacities. The Volkolak are also unnaturally strong in their human form, and one of the only ways to subdue them is to speak their true name. Anna is one of the only humanoid killers that has no surname expressed within her lore. Could it be in practice a form of defense, or did she merely forget her name over time? While her lore does specify that Anna, being orphaned young, left her own devices in a cruel and unforgiving forest, grew to adapt her isolation by becoming animalistic of mind, a through and through predator, deep inside her she still had human longings. Did she possibly slip and allow the wolf inside her to take control, a trauma response for survival? Well, we can glean some insights into Anna from the descriptions and visual aspects of her cosmetics. On her Orenburg fur-trimmed and Solstice Devotee cosmetics, we can see she retained ritual and faith of some sort. On the forehead of her Obzhinki mask, we can see blood smeared in the shape of the World Tree. On the Kolyada mask, we can see a sort of example of the Hands of God Slavic symbol. And we can also see runic writings on the ramp skull of the Cold Wasteland Survivor cosmetic. Within Anna's add-ons, you will also see the glowing concoction, what appears to be a potion that glows with otherworldly light. The power of the concoction gives Anna unnatural detection abilities, a gift from the entity or trappings of a ritual-rich past life. And why does Anna's character model have dark, animal-like eyes? Is it her unnatural transformation into the entity's realm which gave her such features? Or is it a deeper piece of herself surfacing? I think the latter. So we know for a fact that Anna isn't of child mind. Anna isn't mentally stunted by trauma, but Anna is also not entirely more beast than human. Anna simply enjoys the hunt. Allowing herself to slip into her more animalistic side for survival irrevocably changed her to the very core. But we know Anna conducts rituals, and we know ritual is a way to transform into a wolf in Slavic, Finnic, and Karelian region mythology. But why do the soldiers call Anna a Bodark and not a Volkolak? As far as I searched, I could not find any reputable source for the authentic existence of the word Bodark in Russian, Finnish, or Karelian histories. I could only find a tree of said name, with the wolf usages only otherwise found in popular fiction media, like Teen Wolf and Ghost Recon, as if the name was made up. Then I wondered if the Cyrillic text was somehow twisted, and I needed to search for Bodark using variations of Cyrillic letters. Phonetically, Bodark is spelled like this, which means absolutely nothing when you're trying to translate it out of Russian. But when I searched, I figured maybe the B in English is actually the V sound in Russian, as the V looks like a B in Russian. And maybe the O would actually make the U sound, as in tool, which is represented in Russia by this symbol, changing the letters to a phonetic Vudark, which looks like this. The translation, when combined to one word, came out with Woodstrike, which chillingly ties both to the ritual and to Anna's axe. Maybe it's just a coincidence? I don't speak Russian, but the synchronicity, as they say, is wild. Finally, we come to Anna's end, or what I think was Anna's end, according to her ignition cosmetic, saying, "She charged through a flamethrower's fiery stream to strike her mark, but the battle was paid at a horrible cost." World War I brought with it a terrible new weapon, pioneered and used mostly by the German forces, the flamethrower. The only thing that could take down Anna and leave her fearful legend to oblivion, as the war closed to an end, was the flamethrower, where she would finally be pulled into the entity's realm. Upon observations of her within the realm, it is noted, this new foe holds something human within her, some shards of ordinary life. She seems to be a hunter. There is something else in her too. She seems to seek something. Could she be seeking her wolf? Was it torn from her as a price of entry into the realm? Or is she forever seeking a child to quote-unquote love? Given the structure of the passage, I think it's the former. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and follow. I have plans for more DVD content in the future. Or drop me a comment to let me know what DVD killer you'd like me to research next. You can also find me on Twitch at Mimisiku if you're bored and you just want to drop by and say hello. We're chill over here. Have a wonderful day. It's chaos. Be kind.